What if I told you that your money isn't safe? Not in the way you think. I'm not talking about a bank robbery or a stock market crash. I'm talking about something quieter. Something that happens every single day, right under our noses. You work hard, you get your paycheck, you pay your bills, you try to save a little. But somehow, at the end of the month or the end of the year, it feels like you're running in place. That feeling of never quite getting ahead, that's not an accident. It's a system. And today, we're going to talk about the man who perfected that system. A man who stole more money than anyone in history without ever holding a gun. He didn't break into vaults. He created them. And the crazy part is, the system he used is still running today. Stay with me for the next 12 minutes, and I'll show you not only how he did it, but how to protect your own money from the very same trap. For our parents' generation, the rules of money were simple. Get a good job, work hard, put your savings in a bank account, and over time, it would grow. The bank would pay you interest, and that interest was real. It meant your money was actually worth more next year than it was today. That system worked for a while. It was slow, sure, but it was predictable. You could plan your future around it. But today, that rulebook is completely broken. Think about it. Your rent doesn't go up by 1 or 2% a year. Your grocery bill, your phone bill, they don't just slowly creep up. They jump. And the interest your bank pays you on your savings? It's usually less than 1%. So while your money is sitting there, safely, in the bank, the cost of everything around you is silently sprinting ahead. This isn't a theory. It's the reason so many of us feel stuck. Meet Alex. Alex does everything right. Goes to college, gets a decent job, pays bills on time. Alex even manages to save a little bit each month. But every time Alex checks the bank account, there's this quiet frustration. The number goes up, but what that number can buy goes down. Last year, $1,000 in savings could buy a new laptop. This year, that same $1,000 only covers a new phone. Next year, maybe just a new pair of headphones. This is the silent thief at work. It's called inflation. But there's more to it than just prices going up. There was a man who understood this better than anyone. A man who didn't just understand it, he weaponized it. His name was Bernie Madoff. Now, you've probably heard of him. He ran the biggest Ponzi scheme in history. But what most people miss is how he got away with it for so long. He didn't promise people insane, unbelievable returns. He promised them something much more seductive. He promised them consistency. He offered returns of around 10 to 12% every single year. Not too high to be unbelievable, but just high enough to beat inflation comfortably. He gave people an escape from that feeling of running in place. He made them feel like they were finally winning the game. But the game was rigged from the start. The returns weren't real. He was just taking new money from new investors to pay off the old ones. And for decades, it worked because he was selling something more powerful than money. He was selling certainty in an uncertain world. The same feeling of security we all crave.
So how did Madoff's scam relate to the system we're all in today? Imagine your savings are water in a bucket. Every paycheck, you pour a little more water in. But at the bottom of the bucket, there's a small, invisible leak. That leak is inflation. The government prints more money, which makes the money you already have worth a little bit less. It's a tiny leak. You barely notice it day to day, maybe a few drops. But over a year, or 5 years, you realize you've lost a significant amount of water. Now let's break down how this really works in 3 simple parts. Part 1. The printing press. When the economy needs a boost, or when there's a crisis, the government creates more money out of thin air. This is supposed to help. It keeps businesses running and people employed. But it has a side effect. Think of it like this. If there were only 100 baseball cards in the world, they'd be very valuable. If someone suddenly printed 1,000,000 more, your original 100 cards wouldn't be so special anymore. Money works the same way. More dollars in circulation means each individual dollar buys less. Part 2. The slow drain. This is where your bank account comes in. You put your money in the bank, thinking it's safe, and it is, from robbers. But it's not safe from the leak. The bank pays you, say, 0.5% interest. But inflation, the leak, is draining your bucket at a rate of 3%, 4%, or even more. So even though the number in your account goes up a tiny bit, your actual buying power, the amount of water in your bucket, is going down. You are losing money by saving it. Part 3. The Madoff connection. What Madoff did was sell people a magic patch for the hole in their bucket. He said, "Give me your water, and I'll give you back more than the leak takes away. Guaranteed." He wasn't fixing the system. He was just creating an illusion that he could beat it. The modern version of this isn't a single person. It's the entire financial industry, selling complex products and promising to beat the market or hedge against inflation. They sell you the hope of a patch, while often creating more leaks in the process, with fees and risks.
So, if saving money means losing money, what are you supposed to do? This is the point where most people feel trapped. It feels like a game you're forced to play, but you can't win. And that feeling of helplessness, of financial anxiety, is not your fault. Let me say that again. This is not a personal failure. You didn't do anything wrong by saving your money. You did what you were taught. The problem isn't you. The problem is that the rules of the game have changed, but nobody's sent out the new rulebook. The key insight is this. Madoff's scam worked because he exploited a real underlying fear. The fear that your hard work is evaporating into thin air. But the moment you understand the leak exists, the moment you see the system for what it is, you stop being a victim of it. You can't stop the leak. You can't stop inflation from happening. But you can stop using a leaky bucket. You can choose a different container for your money, one designed for growth, not just for storage. This isn't about becoming a Wall Street trader or risking it all on crypto. It's about a simple shift in thinking, from saving your money to building your wealth.
So, what does this look like in the real world, for a normal person with a normal job? It comes down to 3 simple actions. First, what to stop doing. Stop thinking of your savings account as an investment. It's not. Your savings account is for emergencies. It's your safety net. 3 to 6 months of living expenses. That's it. Any dollar you are trying to grow for the future does not belong there. Keeping tens of thousands of dollars in a savings account for years is like storing ice cubes in the sun. Second, what to start doing. You need to put your long-term money into things that have the potential to grow faster than inflation. These are called assets. An asset is something that can make money for you. The simplest example for most people is the stock market. I know, that sounds intimidating, but you don't have to pick individual stocks. You can invest in something called an index fund. Think of it like buying a tiny slice of the entire economy. You're buying a piece of hundreds of the biggest companies all at once. Over the long term, the economy tends to grow, and as it grows, the value of your slice grows with it, usually much faster than the rate of inflation. Exactly. It's the most boring, straightforward, and historically reliable way to build wealth. Third, what to understand long-term. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Investing has ups and downs. The market will have bad years.
But the goal isn't to time the market, it's about time in the market. You are simply moving your money from a container that is guaranteed to leak to a container that, over the long run, has a history of filling itself up. It's a slow process. It takes patience, but it's a system that works for you instead of against you.
Bernie Madoff built the biggest financial scam in history by selling a fake solution to a very real problem. He sold a patch for a leaking bucket. The real solution isn't a magic patch. It's understanding that you need a better bucket. The financial system is designed to slowly transfer wealth from those who save in cash to those who invest in assets. And once you understand that, you can choose which side you want to be on. You work too hard to let your money slowly disappear. If this video helped clear things up, do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. We break down complex financial ideas into simple animated stories every single week. And leave a comment below. What's one thing about money that still confuses you? I read all of them. Next up, we're going to explore the secret company that owns almost every major brand in the supermarket. You won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching.